Yo, boys. Boys. Is stream 1600. Oh my god. Well, you know, one stream at a time. One stream at a time. One stream at a time. We reach incredible results. Let me just check if everything is up and running and I can turn on the stream. Yes. Yes, I can. I can again. Hello. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. And hello, Andrew. Hey. Hello, Hula. Only 400 to go, yeah. Stream 2000. Let me reason a bit. So 400 streams, I do roughly like 200 per year. So it's 2 years. So stream 2000 will be in 2 years from now. Wow. Yep. I don't know if we will do it, but I will try. I mean, if you like it, if I like it, and we can do it together, maybe we do it. Who knows? Who knows? Very old screenshot, but thief in the sewers. So we are working on the new. I'm slightly tired because yesterday I had hello Trenzo, hey, hello Mike, hey, thank you for coming in for stream 1600. Nice to see you. It's cool to have people joining just to say hello. I mean, it's good. Then you can leave if you want. No, you can also stay. But it's good. If you don't have time, don't worry. That's fine. And yeah, thank you for joining. So we are working on the dungeon set. I was saying that I'm slightly tired because yesterday I had few friends visiting from the east part of Italy, and they visited the city together with me, and we tried to put as much as we could in the day, right? Because they were staying only one day enough, so we decided to do as much as we could. And believe it or not, we walked 21,000 steps because because there was one of them was having like the app to count the steps, and at the end of the day said, wow, we really walked so much around this freaking city. Let me check how much we walked, and it was like 21,000 steps. Insane. So yeah, we walked like I don't know how much, it is, but like probably like 20 kilometers or something like that. Or 15, but yeah, so I'm slightly tired for that. They came back to their home this afternoon around 3 p.m. so I just greeted, say bye. They went away, and I said, well, it's a great time to stream some Plane Shift. Yes sir. So what is this map? This map was for the D&D session. Was by the way, this is made with ChatGPT, I think. I think that ChatGPT these days can really do good maps for you. I mean, obviously, if you see like the chairs, right, they are a bit broken. They are not exactly, but this was the forge. This was a forge. I think I also have the guy. Yeah, this guy. It was a dwarf for the forge, right? Like a blacksmith, and yeah. First he created a cartoonish version for whatever reason. They said no, I want it real, right? I want it with realistic style, and he made this one, which is actually very nice. ChatGPT is improving so much. Anyway, we are working on the caves, right? Because we want to have a new set of caves. There is this set, which I think is decent. Maybe it's not the greatest of all time, but I think it's pretty good. You already include some predefined rooms, and in fact, I already have converted and collapsed all these different rooms. Some look more like corridors, I know. So we will have to make some larger rooms because here they're a bit small, but we have it. So the idea would be to import, right, all these pieces under our cave 5. Yeah, under our cave 5. Try to understand if the colors, the vertex mapping, like we have here some vertex mapping, if it's correct, right? If the cave actually is usable, and import all the pieces. And then I think we will have to modify anyway a bit these pieces, because I think that what we need larger rooms first, and also we need a bit of variation, because these rooms are all using the same texture, right? And is, well, actually 2 textures, but it's a bit, thank you, Ula, but it's a bit too much, right? It's a bit too much to use everywhere the same skin. So we will update it. We will update it a bit. And yup. So to do this, my suggestion is, let's proceed this way. We import all the pieces, and then we just try to generate a dungeon and see what happens. Okay? I don't know if our dungeon is really supporting multiple sets. Probably not. Because we have a dungeon generator, right? But the dungeon generator, I don't think understands skin. I mean, actually we have this thing, right, which is wall skin, but wall skin is the texture to apply to the yeah, so we will have to change that. I have to understand how to do it though, because if I remember right, I think we have to understand a bit how it was done, right? Because it's a long time I don't touch this, but I remember there was a dungeon owner. Yeah, exactly. There was a dungeon owner, and this dungeon owner is an object that is telling us where the dungeon stands, right? Dungeon generation can be damaged, always spawn, ignore collision. I have to go and check. Did this one have a tag? I assume yes. Dungeon owner. Okay, let's try to recap how this thing was working, right? Because now we need to support multiple dungeon sets. We need to support multiple dungeon sets. And that is a bit more than what we have today. Set dungeon owner, dungeon spawn manager. Yeah, no, I understand that, but why I don't see it then? It's not implemented or what? Dungeon, set dungeon owner. Ah, because it's this thing only. Dungeon owner. Okay, it's as simple as that. Okay, I understand. Fine. I I understand. Set dungeon owner actor. This one is called only once. But I think this is only in preloading, right? This is only in preloading. Then we have the generate dungeon. Generate dungeon is I have to understand. Wait, I'm missing few pieces. I have to recall where the hell. There should be a generate dungeon. No? Wow. We don't do generate dungeon through this? That's a bit weird. It's called create dungeon. Okay. It's called create dungeon. Okay. So definitely we will have to change this structure, because this structure is now only allowing one skin. And then, yeah, because I think this is just the wall skin, right? While we need a dungeon set. The problem of the dungeon set, I think that we had a start location, if I remember right. Let me see. By the way, we did it this way. Oh shit. Okay, it's fine. We did it so that we could have. We could also use a command, but I don't know if it's really needed at the end. Dungeon generation. Dungeon generation. Dungeon manager process command. Create. Admin create. Create delete status, right? Spawn dungeon actor, set dungeon start object. Hello, who joined? Hello, City A. Thank you for the follow. We are working on some dungeon generation stuff, and I'm trying to remember how we did the set of the rooms, right? Dungeon start. Okay, so there is a dungeon start, which is getting a class, and then is finding the dungeon start object, and the dungeon start object is well, the dungeon start object is not the dungeon owner, right? So we created the start object, if I remember right. The problem is that in this version, no, it's already an array, It's already an array. It's already an array. Okay, nice. So obviously we can have multiple. Yeah, by name. Okay, by name. No, but I want to understand when we instantiate this thing, right? Get dungeon. We only do get, but we should do a. Set dungeon start object. Let me see this one. Set dungeon start object. Probably is here. Spawn dungeon actor. Here it is. Spawn dungeon actor by class. Okay. But in theory, this one, we should do it also when we are creating, no? Or only during the load? Also when we are creating. Okay, nice. So we go by class. Okay. So we have one, okay, so this part we have to change, right? Because this get dungeon start class, right, is pointing to a specific dungeon object. And this is the object, now I'm starting to recall everything, right? This dungeon object is the one that is keeping the configuration of the rooms. Where the hell is that? My dungeon. Why if I do my dungeon is not filtering? Dungeon generation start BP. Okay, here it is. Dungeon generation start. Oh, okay. So this is the guy that is keeping all the rooms, right? So this one knows if we have, for example, here we have 4 common rooms, 1 starting room, 5 raid rooms, we have stairs, we have ending, we have doors, right? So all of this is part of the start dungeon object. So now I think that the problem is that, so we need one of these objects for every dungeon set that we have, right? So that is the that is what we need to do. It is what we need to do. And I need a way to reference, but we can reference it by class. We can reference it by class. I think so. Because at the moment in the code, you see that is hard-coded, right? That is hard-coded. So we say, get a dungeon class to generate my dungeon. It goes here, is hard-coding this. While we want this to be a parameter, right? And the parameter should come from the dungeon definition. So probably this one should not even exist. No, it may exist and it may point, right, in my get dungeon start. Right. It must be here. It must be part of this configuration parameters. Now the only question is, Can I just add a new U class? I mean, what would it be, right? What would it be? Would it be a string and then we generate the U class, or can just be directly a U class? Well, considering we have to save it to a save game, and also we have to use it through the UI, I think we can go with the string and then we convert it in this call, right? So probably this thing. Because if I make it a U class, then I will need a U class. No, I think it's too. Let's not make it more complex than what we need, right? Let's not do this. Let's just call it. Let's just add under configuration, right? Here, under configuration, I would put it next to the wall type or wall skin, whatever it was called, wall textures, right? So I will put it here next to this. So this will be the dungeon set, meaning, yeah, this will be the dungeon set class. I don't know if set is really the right word, but what I mean is the type or dungeon type. Yeah, let's say dungeon type class, right? Dungeon type class. Yeah. Dungeon type class, right? And at the beginning, this will be, I would say, empty because we don't care about it at the beginning. And this dungeon type class must be, must be a property like everything else. And also, it needs to be inside my save game. Because when we had the load, right? There was a load. There was a load all whatever load dungeon. Load all dungeons. We have a dungeon save game, right? And this U dungeon save game, he has a dungeon property array, okay. And this dungeon property, unfortunately, is not the one that we just modified because not. But we need to do it. So this will be a dungeon type class, right? This dungeon type class. So because we also need it on the save game. We need it on the save game. Otherwise, it will not work. Now, I remember there were a significant number of constructors and other stuff that was so this will not be very easy, guys. There will be some work to do to have this working properly, but because I remember, for example, let's take loot quality. I think loot quality is a bit more, is a bit easier. Exactly. You see that here we have a function that is actually reading what is coming from the client. And so we need to augment this with our dungeon. We don't have it here, obviously. for whatever reason. And then there is also the save, obviously. But let's do one thing at a time. One thing at a time. One thing at a time. This info is the F dungeon create info, which is actually the one that is coming from the client with all the information, right? And so we have to add it here as well. Yeah, because there are multiple points where this happens, right? Unfortunately, adding a single parameter here is a bit of a mess, but right. So now in theory, when we have the dungeon creation info, we can pass that. And so in theory here now, yes, we have our info dungeon, which should be a string. Wait, it's not very clear to me. It's not very clear to me why. Wait a second. Info. No, it is a string. Sorry, there is a. Obviously, it's the same. So it's just like that, right? It's just like that. Because we are passing everything to a command. Because we want to, I mean, the original idea was that we could also create it with a command. I don't think it's the greatest idea because this thing is so complex that putting it through a command is... Maybe I could even kill it, right? But... should we kill it? Because there is a lot of duplicate code here just because we want to be able to call this as a command, but... Hello, Zarre. Hey, thank you, thank you. 1,600 is a big milestone. We're working a lot on this, but I would say I'm having fun working on it, and it's still a very interesting project, and we learn through it, and... Yeah, I keep myself, you know, in touch with technology, and yeah, there are a lot of positives, right, in working on this game. There is obviously a big time sink, but it's fine. I mean, it's a creative process, right? It's creation. Every time you can create something, I think is nice. You know what I'm thinking, guys? I'm thinking to kill this completely. I'm thinking to kill this completely and also kill the slash dungeon. I mean, it's true that the slash dungeon is used for window and other stuff, right? Is used, for example, yeah, because you have create, you have delete. But create and delete, I think they are fine. We can keep that. I think I mean window and delete. I think we can keep. The problem I have is create, because create is really becoming a science project, right? And I think we can just simplify it. Let me try to do this. I mean, at the beginning it was a good idea, but then I think it became impossible. Obsolete, too many parameters we call directly. We call function directly, right? Because it's becoming too big, right? And it's not useful anymore. It's not a good idea anymore. It's not a good idea anymore. Sorry, why this thing... No, seems to be okay. Maybe let me move the delete up so that we see it together with this. And we just exclude, okay. Okay, so I will kill the create. Because the create was doing nothing else, right? Then actually loading a set of all the parameter into an array. And then passing it through again. So it was a bit of a repetition actually. Dungeon generation. Process command, right? Because this process, yeah, exactly. This process command was going again into this admin create. But I think we will kill this. I think we will kill this and we will call directly there should be an admin create here. Yeah. And instead of this, we will pass in this. Okay. I mean, this will obviously change dramatically the way this thing works, but I think we will make it better overall. I think it was too complex. It was too complex. There was too many redirections and not really reasonable. Now, for example, why I don't have rooms, right? That is pretty strange. Why I don't have rooms? Maybe there is a rooms number or something. Yeah, there is a number of rooms. Okay, that's fine. What is the problem? Why is not... okay. Because now this populate, right? This populate also has the same problem. That is not anymore... it's not anymore this, but it's this. Oops. Oh, crap. Yeah, the problem is that the names are not exactly the same. Yeah, for whatever reason, the names are slightly different. Return position. Return location. But now we also have a new one, which is our what? Is our dungeon type class, right? Exactly. I mean, we will have to test this well because I'm doing some significant changes, but but I think it's fine. Maybe. 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 Yeah, they will be during the load. But I think during the load is using another way. So this to me seems to be fine. Dungeon save game. Dungeon save game. Well. Dungeon type class. I'm trying to understand if I have to also change the save game because this thing is getting saved. But in theory, has this it should have this right inside the save game. So if I already added the parameter, it should be fine. No. So request create dungeon actually will work differently. You will just call directly, so all this becomes obsolete, right? All this becomes obsolete. And we are not going through command anymore. We are just going to call admin create. And admin create is in dungeon manager, I guess, no? We have a dungeon manager? Yeah, dungeons must, exactly. No, wait a second. Dungeons. No, we have it in. Yeah, we have it here for whatever reason. Okay, fine. Admin create, right? And this will be info in pawn, right? So, okay. Okay, good. So this is what we have. Now, so what we need to add? Where is my face? What we need to add is right, is here a new drop down. So we need to have a new drop down somehow. Right? And the new drop down will be the dungeon type. You can call it dungeon type or whatever. Oops. Oh shit. You moved it one by one. No. That's terrible. Okay. not what I wanted to do. I wanted to select, can I select only? Can I select only this? And move it up or no? Yeah, okay. Okay, nice. Okay. Just need a bit of space, not a lot, but a bit of space for this and that. So we will duplicate this guy. We'll put it here, and this one will be called and this one will be called dungeon type. Dungeon type, I think, is a good name. Is very understandable. Dungeon type. Well, maybe spelled properly, but dungeon type. And then we will have a drop down. Now the drop down. Will be here. And this one will be called combo dungeon type, right? Combo dungeon type. Okay. So now when we click on create, right, we need to pass this dungeon type. Now the problem is that we didn't yet recompile the C++, and so this window is not aware that the new field exists, right? So we have to go and recompile. So this thing does not have the dungeon type, right? So unfortunately, I have to reload everything, but it's quick. So I close everything here. Yeah. And we close it. And we recompile it. First of all, let's see what happens when we recompile, right? This is already a good test to see what we forgot, because probably we forgot some pieces. It's building, guys, so we just have to wait. We just have to wait a compilation. By the way, we are 1 follower away from 900 followers. which has been a number that has been going up and down a lot, right? So, we were at like very, very close and then lost a few and gained a few more. But anyway, if you want to drop a follow, we will be at 900 followers, which is one of the goals that we have. Okay, so this recompiled. Now that it's recompiled without errors, hopefully, yeah, without errors. If we relaunch our editor, now we should see the new field, right? The new dungeon type. Okay. So now, if I go in my window, create dungeon, blah, 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 and we go in our create button, right? And we use this dungeon info. You see that now we have dungeon type class, right? So we have to decide how to do it, but at the moment, you know, we only have 2 types, so I would just hard code it. I think it's fine. So we will do this. Let me see. So in theory, there should be one where we load this thing. No, there is no. Huh? No, for sure there is. What do you mean? Huh? There is no constructor. That's very strange. We added the values. We have probably added the values manually. Yes, we added the values manually. Okay, well, we can add the value. We can add the manual thingy. Here actually is randomize. Or I don't think we want randomize, right? We can randomize everything else, but I don't think we can randomize the dungeon type. So the dungeon type should be only 2 values. And the 2 values will... fuck Kerinos though. Well, I think we can convert it on the C++ and hard-code it. Yeah, I think this thing we stay hard-coded at the moment. I don't know what else to do. It will be hard-coded. It's fine. So how do we call the dungeon? I think one we call it dungeon, and the other we call it caves for now, right? Or we call it caves 5. Maybe caves 5. Okay, caves. I think we call it dungeon and cave. So dungeon is the standard set, the one that we use now. And caves is the new set, right? And I mean, we will have to change this probably in the future, right? We will probably have to change it. But fine. Yeah. Yeah, we will probably have to change this in the future. If we add more sets, we will have to. Okay. So now, what is the point? The point is that in this window, we will select one or the other, dungeon or caves, and this create will pass to our To our create dungeon here, right? Receive create dungeon. No. Request, what? Request create dungeon. Yeah, exactly. Request create dungeon. And this one we'll call this function admin create, right? With all the information, including the new dungeon type. And here is where we have to change, right? Because get dungeon star class will need data. So we'll need this, right? And now I think we will do it very simply. We will do, yeah, exactly. I think we do it. We just do this. If data dungeon type equals to caves, right? We are coded, but it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. We set it to the cave class. Now the cave class, we obviously have to create it. So in my dungeon generation, I basically need a copy of this. And this one we will call it dungeon generation caves. Right? Dungeon generation caves. Now we don't have all the pieces yet, right? So this will be, by the way, generate dungeon, delete me. Yeah, exactly. This is the old generation in blueprints, but we don't do this anymore. So all this can absolutely go. And all this can absolutely go. Dungeon generation star BP. On this one, we will have to change pretty much everything, right? Like for example, here the scale is 1. I don't even know why it's 0.7, by the way. Yeah, we will need a starting room. We will need, I mean, now we don't have the pieces yet, right? We don't have the pieces. So we will have to import all the pieces. Without the pieces, we cannot. So let's import the other pieces. So I exported them all, I think. No, I didn't. Okay, we have to export all the pieces now because we need all the pieces. So the only one that we have is ext2. Can I export them all in one file? In theory, yes. In theory, I can. If I do this, and then I select all, and then I export all, and then I export it with Cave05 pre-built, right? Cave05 pre-built, and then we import it here. That is pretty much fine. We don't care about that too much. We don't care about that too much. The only thing that we care is this material. Well... Ah, crap, no. Depends. Every piece, well, No, wait a second. Yeah, exactly. Every piece has its own set of materials, right? So I don't understand why this one... Ah, okay. Okay. No, it's correct, So this one, for example, is rock 02. What is rock? Is rocks 02? Yeah, it's rock 02. And this is rock 02B. Yeah, it will take a bit of time to do this thing because we have to basically reset, right? We have to reset on all the materials. Anyway. Okay. Yeah, the annoying part is that we have to do this for every piece, right? Yeah, we have to do for every piece. Can we do it quicker, like copying all the materials? Well, I can copy the materials like this. I can say copy, paste, right? But I don't know if it's really faster. Yeah, probably it is faster because I don't have to type. 2B soil mix. Yeah, it's probably faster. It's probably a bit faster. I mean, not incredibly, but... Another way is that I open all of them and I do the soil mix on all of them. Maybe. Let me try. If this is faster. If I go here and I say, okay, it is 2B soil mix, right? And I paste the 2B soil mix. Then I go to the next one. 2B soil mix. Next one. 2B soil mix. Next one. 2B soil mix. Yeah, I think maybe like this is a bit faster. Okay. At this point we want rock 02. We may change some of this geometry, but at the moment we are using it exactly as we got it, but I think we may extend this. For example, this one is a bit different. He has 4 materials. Okay. Whoop. I'm a bit tired today, but... I'm getting older, my boys. I'm getting older. That's what it is. Now here we have a rock 02B. Seems to be only in this cave though. But anyway, we have it. Rock 02B. Okay. And the same here. Okay, so now we should have all the materials, right, assigned to all the cave pieces. And if I look at the vertex color, it seems to be okay. Like for example, here you see there is a blending, right? There is a blending between the two textures. So it seems that it's working fine. Yeah, it seems that it's working fine. Now the collisions, we didn't really think about it at the moment. But considering the low poly count, maybe we can go. Well, actually, 33,000. 33,000, huh? 14,000, 6,000. Why some of them are so high poly? Like these ones are very, I mean, one is 6,000, this one is 39,000. It's a bit weird though. 39,000, why? Room 03, let me see. Maybe there is some mistake or some duplication, or maybe not. Maybe it's just that this room is bigger. I mean, it is bigger for sure. But why the hell this is 33,000? 33,000. I think it's because he has many elements, right? For example, he has a lot of these rocks. Wait a second, I don't understand what I'm looking at. Why? What? Because he's beyond. Okay, so what is behind doesn't show as triangles. Yes, that's the reason. But anyway, yes, this one is way more. He has way more stuff, and so it reaches 33,000 polygons, which is not much at the end, right, for a cave piece, but still is higher than what we have today. But I mean, I'm just checking if there is any duplications, right? If there is anything that stands out as duplicated materials, but I don't think so. Like for example, this thing is 800, right? So every block is about 1,000. Yeah, every block is about 1,000. Every one of these blocks. So if you take already, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blocks, right? It is already 9,000, right? Now, reaching 39,000 seems to be a bit of a jump, but I'm trying to understand if we have anything duplicated or... but probably the answer is no. The answer is just that there are a lot of these pieces, right? Pam pam param pam pam. Bling. Hello, Paker. Hey, or Pake real life. Hello. Thank you for the subscription, tier 1. Hey. Thank you. Very appreciated. Thank you. And welcome. We're working on a new dungeon set because we want to be able to generate caves and so to have more dungeon areas where our players can go. And so what I'm doing, I am actually creating not creating, but I'm assembling the geometry that then goes into our Unreal Engine. And I was just checking some of the biggest ones like this, but it seems to be good. So I would keep it as it is. I mean, I think it's 30 plus thousand because actually it has a lot of small pieces into it. And I think anyway it's fine. It's a large, it's a large area. So it's fine if it's 33,000, I guess. Should be no big deal. I didn't post the stream stuff. No, I didn't. Okay, wait a second. I didn't post the current stream information on Discord or anyway. Wait, Twitch. I cannot type sometimes. I think I forgot to post it or what? Or is not the right channel? No, it is the right channel. Or I posted it in the wrong channels. One sec. Maybe I forgot to post it, simply. I forgot! Yeah, I forgot to post it. Forgot. How can I forget? I don't know. But I did. By the way, Paker, how did you find us? Did you find us searching for Unreal Engine or searching for MMO or RPG or what? I think it's always interesting to know how people can find us. Because we are a kind of a small stream, very small stream, right? But I think we do a lot of nice stuff that can be interesting, but obviously is a bit of a niche area, right? One second, I'm just posting. I just realized I forgot to post the stream link to all our socials, right? And I'm posting it now. Okay. Okay, so now basically we have all the dungeon pieces. At least, I mean, we need more because, for example, we need the ending pieces, right? Here there is no end piece. We will have to create a kind of an end piece that is closing the dungeon area. And also we need a start room, right? And we don't have that yet. So we will have to build a few more pieces. But just for starting, just to start with this, we have this new object, which is our dungeon cave start object. And here we have all the characteristics of it, right? And I think, do we like these names or not? These names are a bit super long, but anyway, I think it's fine. Cave 05 CV room. Cave 05 pre-built CV corridor build collapse. I don't know. It seems that these names are a bit too annoying. Let me try to rename it a bit. So let's remove this pre-built. I think the CV is okay. Big small is also okay, but then we remove the collapse, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit of a work, but I think it will simplify when we want to read this. Right. So I'm renaming them all. I have a question. I'm playing every. I'm playing used to be Paco many years ago. Now Paco. Ah, it's you, Paco. Okay, I saw you on Discord a lot. Nice, nice, nice. So yes, I know you already. I know you already. Thank you again. I have a question. Have you upgraded to Windows 11? If so, what do you think of it? I have Windows 11 on my Office PC, but I use my Office PC in a very different way than I use, my PlaneShift PC, because here I have a million things installed, and I'm using it very heavily, and so no, I'm still on Windows 10. On this PC, I could upgrade if I want, and I think at a certain point I will, because there is anyway, the end of life, which happened already, I think, in mid-October, right? Or end of October. Yeah, end of October, I think is going to be. And with the end of life, also, you also get no more fixes, right? No more fixes, and security fixes mostly, right? Which are the ones that are relevant, because sometimes people find problems. So I would say that even if I'm not very happy to switch, because I think Windows 10 is working fairly well, and for my needs is very good. Is doing exactly what I need, and is very stable. Never seen a blue screen of death in years. Well, so yeah. So I would say that I will have to upgrade. Yeah, I think at the end of life. I think the end of life is end of October. I mean, you can maybe resist 1 or 2 months more, right? Just because anyway, I mean, it's very hard that. I mean, it's unlikely that there are some security problems just in 1 month or 2 months. But then I think you will have to upgrade. There's no way. Now, what I think about it, I used it, and I think that the bar at the bottom is stylish, but unfortunately not very techie friendly, because usually in the bottom bar, like for example, I have my bar at the left, right? And the last time I checked, it was quite some time ago, but last time I checked, Windows 11 was not allowing you to move the bar on the left, right? Which is something that I like a lot. And plus the customization of the bar in Windows 11 is way simpler, and so I think we lost we lost some features. Now maybe they fixed it in the meantime, so I will have to check it again. But my fear is that I'm going to lose some functionality. And it's a problem. It's a problem. So let's try to see what can be a good starting room. I think we will have to create a starting room because these rooms are all caves, corridors. So these are corridors. These are another corridor. There is another corridor with an L. There is a slope. I think all the slope we put them. There are how many slopes we have? We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there are 4 slopes. No, more than that. 5. Wow. 5 slopes, right? So I think all the slopes needs to go in the, what we call the stairs. So I will search for cave 05. Wait a second, cave 05. Why is not showing up? Ah, because in reality these are blueprints and not static meshes. Yes. True. No, we still have to do a significant amount of work now that I think about it, because yes, we need to create rooms like this, right? We need to create rooms like this. And I'm only thinking if I should create it here or if I should create it. Maybe we can do it as a subsection of this, right? Yeah, let's do this subsection of this. So let's create a new folder and we call it caves 05. And then what I will do, I will copy, for example, stairs 1. Do we have stairs 1? No, we don't have a stairs 1. Okay, easy. And we will copy this. And now this one will become so I'm thinking if I should actually rename it something or not. But yeah, probably I have to though, because otherwise, so this will become cave 05 slope 1 or something like that. Cave 05 slope, because they have a bunch of names, right? Slope I01, slope I02, slope I01. Maybe I have to name it this way. Slope 1, okay. And now inside of this, I mean the setup is fairly complex, but then when we set it up, hopefully it is easy. Hopefully. So here we have 2 meshes. We need 1 mesh only. So this mesh we can delete. And this mesh becomes our cave 05 slope I01, right? Okay, so this is the thing. Now, what is this? Trap collision box. Trap collision box. I don't remember how this was working though. I don't remember. Ah, yes. This is the box that we use to activate, right? To activate traps. Yeah. It is the box that we use to activate traps. So actually this box should be centered with our thingy. Now hey, we require some tweaking, my boys. We require some tweaking. This work is not gonna be quick, huh? I tell you. It's not going to be quick. Because we have to do it right. Okay. Okay, so this is like this. Then there are the connectors, right? The connectors are very important because these are the ones that our dungeon generation engine reads to determine how to connect one room with the other room, right? And now the problem of this is that we will have to be sure. Yeah, there is a bit of a problem here because we will have to be sure that they are exactly compatible in terms of position, right? So we will have to decide a position that we respect on all the doors in the same way, right? So for example, if we say that this is the point of connection, and probably should be inside, right? It should be this is the point of connection. It means that I will have to put all these connection points exactly in the same spot here. The problem is it really? Are these dungeon pieces modular enough to have a fixed set of coordinates? This is what I don't know. But we will see it now, I guess. You see that it's already not matching. I mean, it is matching there, but it's not matching the middle of the door. There is a major problem. Are the dungeon generation can make himself big rooms? No, we will have to create them ourselves, unfortunately, Ulla. We will have to create them ourselves. But I don't know, it seems to me that, you know, this thing is not exactly in the... Wait, this thing is more in the center than this thing is. I mean, we can try, but I think that they will look not perfectly aligned. While we must have them perfectly aligned, right? We must. So yeah, that is kind of annoying. Then we can obviously have torches to illuminate the area, and I don't know where we place the torches exactly, but I think the torches can have their own rotation without any problem, right? Usually we're having more than one. Yeah, exactly. We have torch and torch one. So we're having more than one. You know what we can do? We can generate for now a dungeon only with one room and see what happens, right? Just to see if the room is, I mean, if the system works, right, with these other caves, right? But because the system works with our dungeon, but we never tested it with these new caves. So and then in theory there are traps, right? But yeah, there is a traps spawn. That it can be at the beginning. And we are still a bit far away from there, Hula. I would like to be at the drum roll, but there is still quite a bit, unfortunately. But we can try with one and see what happens. Yes, but are we already at the drum roll? I don't think so. Also because these pieces need to be perfectly... But anyway. Well, not perfectly, but they have to match. Okay, let's use only one room. Let's use this room, right? So there is cave slop 01 whatever. So we will say we save it. Oh shit, what happened? Huh? Bad blueprint? Why? Okay. Yes, because yes. Well, this will be a bit different though, but fine. Yeah, I see. Yeah, because changing wall textures, it is allowed, but is allowed only in the other set, the dungeon set, right? In this set is actually not allowed to change the texture. This is a bit of a problem. That is a bit of a problem. You know what we can do? We can just disconnect this and say that for now this is not doing anything. So we disable, yeah, exactly. We disable the change wall texture on the cave set for now, right? And if you want to re-enable it, we will have to do something here, but it's not trivial, right? It's not trivial. Okay, so we have our cave 05. So we need at least, right? At least a starting room. There will be our cave 05. And then we need at least one common room. So let's delete everything. Assuming that I'm on the right object. Yes, I am. And we will put the same slope, right? And we will do the same here for array rooms. And the same for stairs. Now, ending pieces, door pieces. Yeah, we will have to work on that because obviously we have doors and cages and stuff, but we will see. We will see. Ending pieces, unfortunately, I don't have anything, so I will just use the one that are here, even if they make no sense, right? But okay. 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 So now we have our dungeon. We have our dungeon cave start. We have our dungeon cave start. That is this guy. Wait. Why is not taking blueprint? I don't know. Well, let's copy. It's identical to the one above, right? So it should be like this in theory. In theory. In theory. Meanwhile, hello everyone. Thank you for joining. Yes, it's our stream 1600, so it's a bit of a celebration for a milestone. Whee! Very nice. Very nice. Just a second, I am checking. Okay. Okay, I'm here. I'm kind of back. So we will do this. We will do this. Fine. Is there anything else we need to do just to do a quick test? I mean, probably yes, but at the moment I cannot really think about it because it's too complex to think about it without seeing something that works or doesn't. So let's close everything. Let's recompile this. And what we want to see that our dungeon, we can maybe even debug the server if you want, but what we want to see that when we ask the dungeon generation to create a new dungeon, it will probably follow caves or no caves, right? And it will use that single blueprint as a start, end, and middle, right? And we can probably just have a very simple dungeon of 3 rooms and they will all be the same, obviously. But if that works, we are already in a decent shape, right? But there is definitely more, way more to do. really, really tired, my boys. Function does not take 0 arguments. Interesting. Yes. Okay, so here we have the problem that the dungeon class, yeah, we need to pass, right? We need to pass the dungeon create info data. And unfortunately, we don't have it. Unless we have a way to generate one from the other. Do we? No, we don't. I mean, we can make it. But at the moment, these are two separate structures. Don't ask me exactly why, but we created two separate structures. And so basically what we get from dungeon start, get dungeon start class. Get dungeon start class, spawn dungeon. Dungeon start class. You know, maybe what we can do, we can simplify this, because if we can say, yeah, let's simplify it a second. Yeah, let's simplify. Simplify. Because we use it only like this, right? So it's just one line, so it's one, so I don't have to pass the whole structure for. So and here I don't know exactly why I decided to do this check outside of my dungeon iterator, right? I think it's because yeah, so dungeon type must be valid. And this will be our one dungeon class, right? Yeah. So if this doesn't work, are we exiting with a failure or not? No, we are not. We are not exiting with a failure. So we consider this a minor failure. But it is a bit of a problem, because this means that the dungeon is failed loading. Why we want to not consider it a fatal error? Okay, because in the post load, yeah, but at least you know, let's print out something that we know that something happened, right? Because I mean, this will be an error for sure. This will be an error, and the error will be dungeon manager spawn a lot of dungeons. Um, I'm thinking. So we say Lodol dungeon failed to find this class, right? Yeah. I think like this is safe enough. I mean, it's just enough because the problem is that if we stop the server loading for a failed dungeon, it may be too much. But at the same time, I don't think I want to load in the game with the main dungeons not loading, right? Now, it's also true that probably that will never happen. But unless the file is corrupted or something like that. But okay. Okay. So I think that we should delete yes, this is the main thing. So I should delete the save file, right? Because obviously now the save file is of different type because we changed the. So I have to put it in the instructions though, right? I have to put it in the instructions. So I have to say delete dungeon save. What is the name of the file? The file name is. I think it's under saved. Save games generated dungeons. Okay. So we have to delete this file under saved save games, right? Under saved save games. So we delete that because the format changed. Okay. So I will delete it. It's on my machine only, obviously, for now. And we will try to start the server and see what happens, right? And start the client. And see if we get the right dungeon generation, right? Hopefully we do, but let's see. And again, this is really just the beginning, right? There is more to do. There is way more to do. But fine. We will do it one step at a time. Okay. We should be loaded in. The first thing we want to check is so we will go. So here is where we generate the dungeons. Okay. I mean, there will be a collision, but the collision at the moment we don't care. So if I do dungeon window, okay, this works, right? As it was working before. Now let's go very few number of rooms, right? So let's do 4 rooms, 1 rare room, okay. And here instead of dungeon, well, maybe we can test first if the old dungeon works. Okay, let's do that. So I'm creating one with the old dungeon, right? And we see if this is okay or if this is crashing things. I don't know. Okay, it seems to be fine. So the old dungeon still works, okay, which is a good news. Is a good news, right? Because it means that the old didn't break, right, with my changes. So we can create the old dungeon fine. Now we will try to create the new one. Obviously we need to give it a new name, so like dungeon 2. And here we select caves instead of dungeon, right? And we click on create. And it seems that, yeah, it didn't change the tiles, you see, so it did not work basically. It did not work. I don't know exactly why, but it did not. So he's still using the old set. He's still using the old set. That's pretty weird though, but okay. So the easiest way to do this is to debug it, because what happens is that when I call request create dungeon, inside this variable, I should have, right? I should have if that is cave or not a cave, right? And yes, and this is the function where we actually do the switch, right? And so if it's equal to caves, which I hope it is, we should switch to this different dungeon class, right? So let's see. Okay, let's debug it, because evidently something is not working. And I will delete again the generated dungeon file because we don't want it. No, sorry. I want to debug it. So we will launch it, debug mode. Debug mode. Meanwhile, guys, how is your day going? What are you doing while you listen to the stream? What are you doing? You playing some games? You are doing some other stuff? What are you doing? How was your weekend? By the way, I don't know if you know, but we have a giveaway that we started, and the giveaway is for some 3D printed plane shift characters. Obviously, you need to be already a player of the game if you want, and the details are on Discord under announcement. So if you want to see that, please go and do it. Also, maybe I should advertise this sometime. I'm never advertising it, but I should. We are using, as you can see, we are using Rider, right, which is a very powerful IDE, and JetBrains Rider. And actually, they gave us a discount ticket if someone wants to buy it, right? And let me see if I find the, I think I had a picture with the, yeah, exactly, there it is. It's coming up. It's coming up. It's taking a bit. I don't know why, but it's coming up. Yeah. So JetBrain provided us with a discount code for everyone in our community that wants to purchase a personal annual license. And the discount code is for now valid until February 26, right? And you can use this code. The code is PlaneShift, right? Written exactly as you see it here. So PlaneShift. And you can use it on their store to get a 25% discount for any personal annual license, right? And it is the URL. So it's important that to remember that is the personal license, so it's not a business, enterprise, or any other, you know, bigger licenses. So it's a personal license and is the one that is annual, so for 1 year, right? And so if you already think to get the JetBrain Rider license, you should use this discount code, right? It's named like our game, PlaneShift. I would say that I'm very happy with the IDE because compared to Visual Studio, at least the last version I used, I think was 2020 or something, was I mean, Visual Studio was extremely slow in cross-referencing Unreal Engine functions, right? And so it was really slowing down my work a lot. While with JetBrain, it's very fast. It has a bit of loading time at the beginning. So the first time you launch the IDE, obviously, because he has to create all the indexes and all of that. But then when he's loaded, the cross search is very quick, and I really like it. And with the cross search, I mean, like if you click on this or this, right, you press F12, is immediately jumping into the class. And if you do a shift F12, is telling you all the possible usages of that in your code, and that is fairly quick. In Visual Studio was really slow, right? Really slow. So said you don't code, yeah. I think it's a good tool, yes. If you are a coder, obviously you need to be a coder for that, but it's a bit slow. Oh no, okay. Sorry, it was waiting for me. Yeah, when you launch it in debug mode, is obviously taking more time. We are also loading production data. Maybe it's not a great idea. I should switch to dummy data so it's quicker. Okay. So now we want to do the same. So generate our dungeon. And now we will probably be, yeah, we fell down, so we will not be in the right position, but it's fine. Because we anyway want to see if I select caves, right? If this parameter is properly sent to... Ah, I remember. Okay, I know the problem. I know the problem. I didn't connect it in the create button, right? Yeah, I didn't. There is the missing piece. My boys. I didn't connect it. When you click the create button, is gathering all the parameters to send through the struct, and we didn't do that. That is why. That is the only reason. Yeah. So we'll fix that and do it again. I don't think we have to do it with... By the way, I have to remember Widget one thing, if you can... Okay, I think I did not connect. This. Yeah, you see that it's empty. So we need to connect the new this thing, dungeon type, right? So we need to get dungeon type and get the selected index. No. Can we get the selected value? Get selected option. Okay, fantastic. We just send it down as caves and that's it. Okay. Okay. Just forgot this. Okay, let's launch it again. I will not go debug because I think that was the only problem, most likely. Dun, 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 dun. Dum-dum-dum. Dum-dum-dum-dum. Bam 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 bam. Okay. Another chance. What is my gravity here? Okay. Dungeon. Window. Dungeon 1. Create of type caves. Let's do only 4 rooms. 1 rare room. Create. Now. I think we will have to teleport again. Because I think we are not in the right spot. Ah, we have something. Okay, we have something, my boys. So now the problem is that we ask for 4 rooms, right? And I mean, these endings, obviously we don't have an ending, right, at the moment, for the rooms, right? We don't. So, so he's trying to create an ending this way, which is fine. We will fix that. He's trying to create the ending with the old system, right? Fine. But actually generated 1 room. I'm just surprised that he generated 1 room and not 4. Right? Overlaps. Okay, he's complaining about overlaps. He's complaining about overlaps. So he didn't create the other rooms because he's basically saying that the other room that he tried to attach in this position overlapped the geometry of this thing. And actually I agree. But now the problem is this is not super easy, eh? It is not super easy. It is not super easy. You know, I understand the problem. The problem is that this dungeon is not designed, right? This door, the problem is the door. This dungeon is not designed to be a pure cutoff, right? Is not. This dungeon is designed to have it is a problem. I mean, it's a problem, but it's solvable, obviously. But it's not, because you see that this thing is not even splittable, right? In an even way, right? While we need this portal, right? We need this portal to be perfectly symmetrical and yeah, and have a connection point in the middle. But now, I mean, it's not too hard to do, right? We can just cut it off. We can just, you know, draw a line and cut it off. But I'm thinking because how do we do it with the other dungeon? Well, with the other dungeon is a bit easier because it's a door. So in theory, but the problem is similar though, because with the other dungeon, let me generate a new one. Let me generate a new one, right? This time with dungeon and still whatever. Let's do maybe 10. Let's do maybe 8 rooms, whatever. So it's a bit more, right? Oops, I had to rename it. So dungeon 2, right? I don't know why it takes so much time, but I think it's just a matter of yeah. So this dungeon, which is the old way, as a system that we need to replicate, right? We need to do exactly the same. As a system where when you connect one piece with the other piece, like here, you have this kind of doorway, right? You have this doorway. And this doorway is everywhere. As you can see, the doorway is also here, right? And the doorway is, yeah, as you can see, there is a bit of duplication here. You see that it is like symmetrically mirrored. That is because it's where the two rooms touch each other, right? So we just have to do exactly the same. So that's basically the point, right? We have to do exactly the same. So yes, I need this connector. I need this connector to be perfectly splittable. And he also needs to, now the problem is that how do we ensure that this is not going to mess up? Pre-builds parts. So all my pre-builds are broken now, right? Yep, they are. All my pre-builds are broken. Because all my pre-builds are broken. I don't know why we have this kind of... Is there a way to remove that weird effect? What is this checkerboard thingy that is coming up? Anyway, I don't know how to remove it, but it's super annoying, right? You see this checkerboard? Super annoying. I don't know if it's only in this file. I think it's only in this file. In theory, it should be one of these options, but like floor, grid, axis. I don't know why we have that, but it's kind of annoying. Blender. No. Yeah, exactly. Transparent checkerboard. But I don't think it was like this in the past, no? I mean, it was all gray, no? I think it was all gray. I find it very confusing with this checkerboard thingy. I don't understand why. No? I find it super annoying. Let me try to open another file and see, because I don't think we had that. Yeah, yeah, exactly, you see, it's not there. If I remove that, so this is empty, so if I remove the floor, now it's all gray, right? Now it's all gray, while here, for whatever reason, in this freaking file, we have, okay, but anyway, it's only in this file, so who cares? So the problem is the doorway. I don't even know where is it. Ah, okay, there is a doorway here. And there is a doorway there. So there is exit medium, exit tall. Ay. Okay, this is the first problem. Our dungeon generation does not allow multiple doors, right? I mean, you can have a gate, or you can have a wooden door in between, in the middle of the archway, but the archway is supposed to be identical between all the pieces. So if we have two of them, that is already a big deal, right? It's already a problem. There is already a problem. Let me see if in our pre-builds, do we have any large entrances? Or are the entrances all the same? No, they are not all the same. For example, on this one, right? I see it very clearly. This one is a very large, entrance, right? Yeah, it's a very large entrance. So unfortunately, this is not supported by our system at the moment. I can only have one connection type, right? One connection type. Yeah, in this case is even worse, because like you see this piece has the small one on the left, which is this one, right? As the small one on the left, and as the big one on the right. I mean, can we expand the system to support this? Well, yes. Yes, we could. We could extend the system to support this, yes. But it's not very simple, because basically you will need to have a number of compatible, so we will have to say for every, how do we do it? Well, it's not super hard, because you can just declare it maybe in the, right, you can declare it here. You can declare it in the connector. So the connector can say large or small, so we can add a new variable, right, which is like connector 1 or 2. But then based on that, our dungeon generation should look for all the ones that are compatible and attach only those ones, right? But yeah, it's doable. It's definitely doable. Do we want to do it now? Probably not, but could you add a special piece who makes the link, a moving one that can join easily, or is it too hard to do? Like a moving part in a train? Yeah, it is like that, Hula, already, because we have a kind of a connection. We have a kind of predefined connection point, yes. And for us in the old dungeon is this archway, right? This archway is our connector, right? And it works already, right? It works already fantastically. So the problem here is that we need to do the same with the large and small connector. So basically under parts, right? Because here we have parts, right? Here we have parts. And then the other problem will be that also the ground needs to be cut off exactly in that spot, because yes, exactly. Also the ground will have to be cut off the same way. Yeah, but basically this is not going to work, right? I have to get rid of this checkerboard. It's making me crazy. I don't know how to remove it, but it's super annoying. It's very, 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 very annoying. It's like making my eyes go crazy. I don't know, whoever decided to set that. Probably is in the option somewhere, but he said he was under Teams, right? And he was under what? Teams, transparent checkerboard. Do you see it? I don't see it. Wait. Transparent checkerboard. Teams. 3D viewport, team space. 3D viewport. Oh my god. Team space. Oh my god. Transparent checkerboard. Primary color, secondary color. Team space. But team space is only this. Region background. Alpha 1. Huh? No? I don't get it. Alpha 0. I know, but it's this piece. It's nothing to do with that piece. I don't know. So annoying. Active edge of grid. Maybe it's this one. Grid. Grid Alpha 1. And no, that is the grid. That is the grid. Is not the no. That is the grid. That is the grid. So annoying. Okay. Too many options. You cannot get the options. Do we want to have the smallest one or the largest ones? Well, I think the easiest to adapt is probably the small one. The easiest to adapt is probably a small one. The only problem with this thing, as you can see, is not symmetrical at all, right? It's just a piece of geometry done in a kind of a random way. He has the top, but it doesn't have the bottom. The reason is that you may have a floor there. I have to cut it off this way. I mean, do we need, wait a second. Do we need this to be perfectly mirrored? Yes, we need, so in reality, this is not gonna work, right? I mean, we need a, because when the two parts match, right, they have to match exactly. So what I mean is that the one side and the other side needs to be identical. They cannot be fucked up like they are fucked up now. Is it true or not? I think it is true. So I need to, I mean, I can create another one, right? I can create another one. There would be my version of this. Yeah, maybe let me do this. Let me do this. Let me create. Wait, I think we have too much stuff open and the game is going. My PC is a bit annoyed by it. So what I will have to do, I will have to create my version of this, where and I think I can just cut it off, and but even if I I mean, I can cut it, right? But if I cut it, it's not gonna work because I can bisect it this way, right? Easy. I can bisect it. But if I do, this part will not be symmetrical with this part, right? So what will happen exactly? I don't know. So if I do this, right, and now here we have a bit of a weird points, right? But that we can fix somehow. Fantastic clip that someone invented, completely useless. Never understood what the clip is. Perhaps it cannot be modulable. No, we want it. Yeah, I mean, it's not been designed to be very modulable, but we have to, right? We need to make it that way, and we can. It's just a matter of working a bit on it, but we definitely can. Don't worry, Hula. Everything at the end will be fine. We just have to work a bit on it, and it will be nice. So, well, here there is a bit of a mess in vertices, right? Now I'm struggling a bit to understand what is the symmetry that I'm seeking? Am I seeking this symmetry? Yeah, probably yes, huh? Because when if I rotate this and I try to attach it, the left will become the right and the right will become the left. So in reality, this portal, meaning this portal, right, needs to be exactly symmetrical on this axis, right? Otherwise, is this correct or not? If this is not symmetrical on this line, right? When I duplicate and rotate 180 and attach, right? It will never match, correct? Correct. Yeah, exactly. So I need this part to be identical to this part. So what is the easiest way? Well, the easiest way that we take half of it. Well, first of all, I don't know why this thing is not really centered anywhere, right? So this thing needs to be I don't even know if this thing is... Do we need it in increments of 100 or not? Because, you know, the other dungeon is way simpler, right? The other dungeon pieces are way simpler because these pieces are all multiple of 100, right? But it's easier because it's a square thing, right? And so if I take this, right, and I move it 100, 100, 100, you see that I arrive exactly at the corner, right? Exactly at the corner, because this thing is a multiple of 100 units. Is a multiple of 100 units. Now, the question I'm asking myself is, do we also need this piece of the cave to be a multiple of something? Because then when we place it, well, in theory not, because we are sticking, no, I don't think so, because we are sticking to the connector, right? So as long as the connector is always in the same place compared to this thing, right? So if the connector is always here, exactly here, all the pieces will in theory will match. Yes, but I need this profile to be, symmetrical, and also I need this profile to be exactly centered. Exactly centered, because then otherwise how can I place my connector, right? How can I place my connector? So it would be best if this thing is in 0, 0 or not. I think it's the distance between this and this. So my symmetry needs to be, well, but anyway, if I delete half and copy, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Wait, let's do that. I think it's easier than I'm thinking. So if I take this, right, and I go until the bottom, and I delete it. Now, if I delete it, it's not very easy because will be easier to, oh crap, I need to go, guys. It's already 8 o'clock. Okay, guys, I need to go to dinner, but we will continue with this tomorrow evening, okay? I will be here, we will continue with this, and I will, so we need to basically make this connector piece fully symmetrical and fully compatible. Otherwise, we will never be able to stick things together, okay? So I will be back tomorrow evening, 9:30 p.m. European time. Meanwhile, if you want to click on follow on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube, that would be nice. And if you want also to follow us on our socials, remember that we have a lot of socials, like we have X, we have Reddit, we are obviously on Facebook, on YouTube, on Discord, and also you can download our game. The game is available for Windows, Linux, and Mac, and you can... how do you handle collision between these pre-builds? Basically, let me just do something, because otherwise, basically, the way I handle it is very simple. So is full collision. So is a complex collision, right? And I do a check. So when I create the dungeon, right? When I create a dungeon, I just place one of them. That is, for example, this, right? I place one of them, and I know that he has 2 exits, maybe one from here and one from there, right? And then what I do, I get another piece that maybe is this, right? And has 1 exit here. And what I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to position this guy with his collision here. and if they collide, I have a check that if they collide for whatever reason, then it cannot be placed, right? So it's something like that. So it's very simple at the end. It's very simple, but you need a clear cutoff, right? Which is what I'm trying to generate here. So I need a clear cutoff, fully symmetrical. Otherwise, it would not work, right? Yeah, this is what I need. This is what I need. And I'm thinking that probably this is also the wrong side now that I think about it. But anyway, I will think about it tomorrow. Goodbye. Thank you for following. And yup, I will see you tomorrow evening. Bye-bye. Bye.